Okay, hello there. This is another one of my replay commentaries. The replay system has been down the last few days. I've done a bit of streaming, but I have not been able to go over a replay until recently. So this right here is an unranked X. The friend said they're fairly new to the game. Their friend posted up a post on Learn Dota too, so they're fairly new to the game. This game went like really long. They wanted to know how they could have won it, essentially. I think that's it. Since it's such a long game, I really doubt that I'm going to go through the entirety of it. There's a good chance. I think I'll maybe watch like the first 20 minutes and like the last 20 minutes. Maybe something like that. Might watch like 10 minutes in the middle or something. I don't know. It seems to be a dual carry lane. I mean, you generally just want to avoid that in general. You're probably better off going to the jungle. I don't know if he is going to the jungle though. We will see. Or maybe it's sorting itself out and Drow's going mid. I'm not sure yet. Immediately, no one's really, or at least he's not going for the rune. No one's going for the top rune. Necro seems to be the only. Okay, Lena's heading over there too, but he's just standing here, and you have maybe you're jungling and you're planning like to pull the creeps or something, or you just want to farm this camp first. But you have 20 seconds left before the game starts, and then 30 seconds before this creep camp spawns. If you actually intend on standing here until this creep camp spawns, you are going to be here for 50 seconds doing nothing. You could just go grab the rune. Let's see. Yeah, no, you actually intend on standing here for 50 seconds. And that right there is a ton of wasted time. You could have gone a bounty rune and been back here with plenty of time. So, right there, that's absolutely a mistake. Also, this lane, it's now just a support. And you get more farm in a lane than you do in the jungle. You might get more last hits, but I mean, each of these creeps is probably giving you like 10x, like 10 gold or something, like 20 gold. Maybe these creeps are a bit more, but I mean, just compared to in that time, you got a full creep wave, that's like 100 gold every time, a bit more. Okay, back to player perspective. Yeah, 25 gold from each of those. Okay, so this is just going to be jungling early on. I'm going to skip through most of this. I think you definitely should have taken the lane since it was an option. Maybe against Darkseer it would have been a rough lane. It depends on how good the Darkseer is, but he's probably bad. Let's skip ahead. Let's go 8 minutes in. Okay, maybe a bit less time in. One thing you can do, they do not have any invisibility heroes on their side. So no one can snipe these. Drop your tranquil boots on the ground. Every time you do damage or take damage, they go on cooldown for 13 seconds, and you no longer get the HP regen. And I think, okay, yeah, you lose some movement speed too. So at that point, they're just giving you like basic movement speed and some armor. If you just drop them before you took or gave damage, you could take the whole camp, pick them right back up, and you'd be regenerating health right away. Okay, so you're going in for a gank, and then you missed that, which just isn't like big. No, don't miss that. You can see where Rubik was gonna drop him. So Rubik lifts him, and you can see right there he's about to get dropped there. So you should walk right over there and get ready to call him the second he lands. Along with that, you didn't attack him or anything while he was lifted. You just like waited for that entire stun duration. I can go check how long it is, but it's probably like 1.2 seconds or something. That's actually 2 whole seconds. 2 whole seconds where you didn't get a single attack in when you could have, because you were just waiting to call. So, I mean, let's say that's like 3 right clicks. That's 180 damage. I mean, there's a bit of armor reduction there. I can go check that out. Okay, he does have fairly high armor. I'm actually going to say with that armor, this kill isn't happening. 11 armor is a lot. I can't actually, okay. Physical damage resistance 40%. I think even if you called him, this kill wouldn't have happened. And now you guys are chasing him and you don't have his stun and Rubik doesn't have mana, so I don't understand the point. Maybe you could have chased him if you had your Tranquil Boots off cooldown, but I mean, that would have meant you would have still to make all those other mistakes, and I think that's the least important one. You also missed the stack time there. I mean, always when you're jungling, look at the clock, and whenever it's time to stack, know the stack times for each camp. They're all generally between 53 and like 55. There's a few which are 50, like, I think, and a lot of them can still be pulled off. At 56, it's worth trying. Like this camp is 56 or 57. Most of these, I think, all can be done at like 53 through 55, and all of them should work. Maybe this one can be done. This one can be done really late because its spawn box is tiny, but this one you definitely could have pulled back when you first got there. And I could go look. Okay, 55, 56. Yeah, if you went right up, straight up, spawn box ends right up there, I think you could have gotten them there in 4 seconds. So you're just missing out on a lot of efficiency with the jungling. You could probably, if you were stacking camps, let's say every 4th camp you would be able to stack, that would probably increase your GPM by like 20 or 30%. So I mean, if I were to look at your net worth right now, 22,000, you probably have like 2,600, 2,700 gold right now, so an extra like 500 or 600 gold on top of this right now, if you had been stacking the camps. I would say that's a good estimate. Over the course of 7 minutes, that sounds about right. You'd probably get yourself an extra 100 gold every minute if you were able to pull off a stack every minute. Okay. I don't think you've gotten a last hit in this lane so far, which might explain why you jungle. But it's you just can't use that as a crutch. Okay, there's the first one. Okay, you got all of those now. Then I think one of them was because of the counter helix, like you wouldn't have gotten it otherwise. But I mean, that's fine. You should be definitely able to get a last hit in an uncontested lane. So once again, looking at the clock, you know, in 10 seconds, you're going to want to stack. So maybe go stack that big camp, because that's obviously what's going to get you the most farm. Instead, I doubt you're going to. Once again, I skipped through like 5 minutes of this game, but I haven't seen you stack yet. You know, right after he's going to stun you. So I mean, this kill isn't going to happen. Yep. And another stun. Oh, actually, maybe. Does he not have boots? That might be why this worked. You never clicked on his inventory. No, he does have boots. Okay, maybe you can just chase him. Maybe you, what's his movement speed? 355, 345. He does move faster than you. You shouldn't be able to catch him. But we'll see. Yeah, if he wasn't missing abilities, you're not getting it though. If you're trying, well, now once again, the second you start the combat, your Tranquil Boots would have gone on cooldown, so it doesn't matter. Okay. That tells you right away that there's a ward up here on their side. There has to be. Or like over here or something. I mean, if we let this... No? Player perspective, the Earthshaker. Let's step back. Yeah, they have a ward. You should ping that out for your supports. Whenever someone lands a blind skill like that, so intentfully, I guess would be like when there's so much intent behind it. Obviously, he knew that was going to hit. He was waiting. You should ping out to your supports. There's a ward up there. And or at least you should start trying to be aware of things like that. You should be thinking about what vision they have. And if they do something that kind of goes against that, then tell your supports. I don't know. You just abandon that medium camp to go take the small camp, and I don't fundamentally understand that. You just threw away more farm for less farm just because the camp's easier to take. If you were dropping your boots in between camps, every camp would be so easy to take. And like the only way I could see you feasibly losing them is if you like drop them right next to trees and then suddenly Visage Familiars came out of nowhere and killed the boots. But I don't see that happening. And I mean, as long as you drop them like next to you and kind of far, like if the boots were dropped right here, I don't see any way you lose them. If you dropped them like over here, maybe by some miracle Visage could get them, but just drop them in between, and then you have regen whenever you're walking between camps, and it's a lot of regen too. It's 12 HP per second on top of your 4. That's a ton. Like, but walking between the camps, say it takes 8 seconds. With 16 HP regen per second, that's almost 100 HP between every camp. That's just like giving these creeps 100 damage nuke on you every time you go in. Because I think these have almost never not been on cooldown. They're an absolutely wasted item at that point. I mean, yeah, sure, if there's a bounty hunter in the game, if you don't see him in another lane, don't drop the boots. That's fine. I mean, obviously losing the boots is worse. I've lost them a few times, and it's been pretty tough. But essentially these boots have done nothing for you because you've gotten no use out of them. I honestly do not think in all the time I've been watching these boots have been off cooldown. Didn't mean to hit that. Let's keep going. And then are you actually waiting for this camp to spawn again? Oh, I'm free camera. Okay, that makes sense. I'm like, why isn't your camera moving? Okay. Okay, now they're on cooldown. Or off cooldown. Once again, with his armor, his move speed, all that stuff, I don't see this kill ever happening. You know what? I could have been wrong. When I said that, I was not thinking there was a Drow Ranger in the lane. Even then, I still thought, yeah, he didn't even attempt to phase boots away. If he used the juke path too, things could have been different. He had so much regen. Yeah, if he didn't stand and fight that, I think that he would have gone away. He just didn't even attempt to. Okay. You have your blink, and right now you should immediately go for a gank or something while this information's still hidden. Another thing, if you're aware of their ward that you hear, which you should be, I wouldn't walk through that. I mean, I guess at this level, it seems like you're at a level where it's not even remotely reasonable to expect people are checking inventories, people just randomly walking around the map, but it's still kind of a good habit to make. Because let's say 1 out of 10 games, someone checks their inventory and says, oh, he has a blink dagger, when they see you going for a gank. Suddenly you just threw away 300 gold. And if you just walk around, I mean, it seems like you're not going for a gank anymore. Or maybe you weren't in the first place. But once you get a blink dagger, once you get a power spike like that, you always go for a kill. Okay. You didn't use blink there at all. There was probably even a good point where you could have Berserker called both of them. Let's hop back 10 seconds. And the Earthshaker, once you let him get his stun off, this fight's actually going to turn around. I'd say the Drow Ranger's going to die. Okay, there might not have been an opportunity to get both of them there. Let's go back again. Slow-mo. And I don't blame you for not getting both of them at least. Yeah, it looks like it isn't going to happen. But I would say calling the Earthshaker is probably more important than the Troll. Because you don't want the Earthshaker casting his abilities at all. So I think blinking here and calling him would have been better. Yeah, I think there might have been a tiny opportunity, but it was so small that it doesn't matter. Yeah, because now he's going to turn around, stun. If they focused the Drow Ranger here, the Drow Ranger would have died. They didn't though. Oh god. Okay. Another thing to do. I know this is probably a lot because I assume you're a very new player. Whenever you go for anything like this, check people's levels. When you see the Earthshaker 7, and Troll Ward's 8, whatever, but Earthshaker 7, that ult has to be expected. I didn't, because I was watching from your perspective, and like I was watching from your perspective, and I didn't know that he had his ult, but he did. And if you just checked, you would have known too. And he actually was 6 when that happened, because he's just barely over 7 now. But that ended up losing. Like if you just had the information that Earthshaker has his ult up, you could have at least just moved the fight away from creeps. You could have called the Earthshaker instead of the troll. Instead, you both died there. Let's fast forward this. Okay. I still haven't seen you use Blink Dagger once. Okay, Blink Dagger's off cooldown. Do you use it? Okay, you finally did. Now you don't have mana, so you're really not too much use here. It looks like you even tried to body block, but it just got you killed. Yeah, you should have backed off the second you didn't have mana, I think. The Dark Seer Shell is another thing you just should have noticed. That's actually an ability that's really going to be something you should be aware of is Axe. Because it can really screw you over when you are bringing their entire team near you. If like 2 people are ion shelled when you go for a call, you're actually fucked. Let's just take care of that. Okay. So let's skip a bit farther, like into the middle of this game, and let's see what's going on. Okay, you have an Aghanims, Vanguard, Blade Mail, Aegis. It looks like you're pushing high ground right now. First thing to ask yourself when you're going high ground, or in any position like this, is are any of their big ults up? Now, that's Darkseer's Wall and Earthshaker's Echo Slam. Those are really the 2 you need to worry about. Keeping track of Troll Warlord's ult would also be kind of nice, but I doubt it. But I mean, there are 2 of them up with big team fight ults. You have a giant creep wave around you. This is absolutely danger zone for Earthshaker to blink out of nowhere and wipe out your whole team. And let's see if that happens. Oh, there it is. Right there. I held it right away. That's so all you need to spread out. You should have gone up on your own, I think. And your team should have kind of like spread out around you. They gave him way too good of a target, and I think it's gonna fuck your entire team here. I think at least one person's gonna die, because this is gonna be followed up by his ground smash. It's gonna be followed up by a fissure, and if he times it all right, you guys are gonna be down for a very long time. You're gonna be stunned for a fucking while. You're all so close to each other, and Darkseer is probably gonna run in, wall vacuum, and this could even be a team wipe, honestly, if they did this right. Okay, there's the vacuum wall, yep. Okay. They kind of did the combo a bit wrong. But there's so much in this game that can screw your entire team if they're standing near each other. Because it's not just, like, just the vacuum wall. Darkseer and Earthshaker, if they coordinate, and that ended up team wiping them, to be fair. But I think it took out your Drow and your Rubik. I guess, did Drow buy back or something? What's the buyback? 1. Buyback. Yep, Drow bought back for no reason. Drow bought back to go farm. That's so fucking dumb. Whatever. But yeah, Darkseer can vacuum people into range for the Earthshaker combo too. I mean, there's so much you need to be careful. This is they have a lot of heroes that can screw you if you have bad positioning, and I'm willing to bet that's what happened this entire game. If you let that happen once, I'm willing to bet that's the entire reason you lost the game. It's kind of inexcusable to let to let him get that off in the first place. Okay, and now you're dead again. And it's not worth focusing too much on that. I think what really went wrong there was you guys were not even remotely expecting them to have the Earthshaker blink Echo Slam. Okay, so that's kind of the middle-ish of the game. We can go about an hour into the game and see what's going on here. What's going on here is you just died. So we'll skip ahead even further. Okay, you have Kerm's Guard, Harder Tarrasque, and Boots of Travel now. You are missing your middle racks. They are missing their middle and bot racks and a T4. You were just kind of punished there for not waiting for your team to be back up. I mean, I don't know the situation of the game, but if you're kind of in a situation where you can't 5v2 and your team's all like 13 seconds away from respawning, I don't understand why you would try and fight that. You should just back off, wait for your team to respawn, then go all in as a team. So Earthshaker, Darkseer drops his wall, and then your entire team walked right through it. And it actually just got the Lena killed by illusions. And then you walked right through it. Okay. You actually missed the Earthshaker with that call. You had no reason to go stand right next to him for it. You could have stood right there. Earthshaker was just outside of it. But I could have told you Earthshaker was going to miss in that call beforehand. And now he's going to get away because of that, actually. Okay. Yep, land the W on him right away so he can't blink. That's good. And he's dead anyway. Did you just... Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you just ulted the Darkseer. And I guess that could be something you do with Ags. I don't play that much Ags. Maybe that's fine. Yeah. I actually am not sure this is going to turn out well. No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, if his blade mail was up longer, he would have been reflecting all that damage back at you, and it would have been an issue, because he also had Iron Chill on, but it turned out fine. Like I said, I mean, if I haven't seen gradually how things have been going, it's going to be a bit harder for me to predict things. I'm not going to try and predict, like who's going to win what fights as much, but let's go forward here. But as for the positioning thing, it goes for tons of abilities, and especially when you have a blink, you can actually try and bait it out. Dodging with blink, the key to dodging stuff with blink is expecting it to be coming. If you're expecting it coming, if you're looking for the animations or whatever, you can dodge so much shit with blink. It's something that I've been working on a lot. But like, if you're expecting Earthshaker to blink Echo Slam when you go uphill, you can have your blink ready, and like right behind, you can like have blink already activated. You can be hovering it right here, and the second you see Earthshaker, you just left click, and suddenly you're out of his Echo Slam, and you can bait it out, especially if you're the one like pushing high ground or anything. Just hang on. That's a great way to get around it. Blink Dagger is a great way to get around initiation like that if you're fast enough. Okay. You have a fairly big creep wave here, but now it's just you. You're the only one pushing this out, and it's against their entire team, essentially. Their entire team minus Darkseer, and Darkseer doesn't matter outside of team fights, really. You're almost definitely dead here, I would say. Okay, no, you were willing to back right off. So it still accomplished nothing. You didn't die, but I mean, you could just go farm the jungle and not die. Okay, now your team's coming in, and you should be blink initiating. You should be trying to initiate on their initiators. You should be trying to get Earthshaker and Darkseer out of the fight for a bit so your team can come in, so you can cancel their blinks and stuff. But instead you just backed right off. Slow this down. Okay. Okay, let's see. If your camera's in a bit better position over here, let's see. You could have blinked on these two, but that probably wouldn't have been the right two. Can I get fog there? Okay. So you backed right off. I mean, you should have stayed high ground. If it was just you up here, then it's not an issue. You're tanky as shit. You can Crimson Guard yourself, Blade Melt, just walk up here, whatever. Instead, you back off, and now your team doesn't have a way to start the fight. Like, who the hell else on your team? Is Drow Ranger supposed to run in there on her own? Is Lena supposed to run there on her own? Is Necro supposed to run there on their own? Is Rubik supposed to? No, you're the one who has to go up, push high ground. You have to be the one who tanks the damage to start the fight. That's literally what your hero does, and if you're refusing to do that, your team's not going to win any fights. And now they get to initiate. They get to choose where the fight comes in. Once again, if you were expecting this one was a bit hard to expect because you're this far back, but whatever. Now you guys are probably fucked, because Earthshaker has this giant creep wave to Echo Slam too. Okay, Rubik lifted him, so that's good. That was actually real bad by him. It didn't matter though. It didn't matter. You let them choose how this fight was going to go down, and the fight went down with Earthshaker and Darkseer initiating at the same time and just fucking starting your team off at half health, essentially. With all the illusions and shit attacking them too. Yep. You were the initiator there, you didn't initiate, and you just let them do it for you. And obviously letting them choose the initiation is not good. You should have probably just stayed up on high ground there, given your team vision. I mean, your team should have dropped a ward high ground or something so you could get a better initiation, but that's whatever. If that's not happening, it's not happening. And they end this soon. They probably just end this right here, don't they? Yeah. And we can look at this fight to see what you could have done, but still Radiant victory. Still Radiant, what? Okay. That was bugged out, but whatever. Yeah, essentially, every time you went to push their high ground, you guys did it all wrong. And that explains why they were able to keep pushing it back. And then, I mean, you guys didn't have any heroes that could defend a base. Like, you guys have a lot of stuff that can... Drow and Lena do a ton of damage to towers. Axe is great at pushing high ground. But, like, you didn't have anything to really defend other than the Axe. So, I would say that's completely the reason you lost. You kept getting yourself... You kept letting yourselves get initiated on. You weren't expecting their initiation, which you have to do. You have to expect how they're going to take a team fight if you want to actually play around them at all. And I think that's completely what happened there. So in general, this big team fight ults, this big initiations, you need to expect them and think about how to play around them. Either split up or like blink out them or whatever. And you just didn't there. And every time I saw you guys push high ground, you got team wiped instead. And I didn't see all the match. But, I mean, if, say, one less time you got team wiped, I'm sure you would have won the whole thing. Because, like, even if it was that first push, suddenly you already had a tower down, and then those other two, a tower and racks down. And then suddenly those other two times you push high ground, because you already got two other towers and racks. That would have been mega creeps, and you would have won. Like, just tiny stuff. Just that, if that one team fight I watched, the first time you pushed it up at, like, 30 minutes, might not even been the first time. If you guys spread out and expected exactly the thing I said was going to happen, that team fight would have gone different. You would have won the whole game, probably. Just any single one of those, if you got another Tower Rax combo, you would have won the whole game. Also, you guys seem to be wanting to push straight mid, and I think that's... There are some games, so that's right. If you're absolutely dominating the game and you want to win the game before your timing window's done, then I think that pushing straight down is right. Like, if in general you're afraid that you're about to start losing the game, then trying to end it as fast as possible is right. But in a situation like this, where every time you go up high ground, you're probably, you've only been able to get a single Rax, and then and there was already two down. I mean, obviously going straight mid is probably not the best. Just letting the mega creeps finish it is probably the best option. And that's more of a game sense thing. I still probably don't have it down. I've still probably fucked up a few times going for the wrong one. I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling a bit now, but I think that was pretty clear. This was completely a positioning issue, a team communication issue, and an initiation issue. I think that's exactly why this went so long and why you guys lost. So that's the end of this. Hope you enjoyed it.